Ah, bloody hell. Someone's moved the damn cassettes again, didn't they? Ooh, that's right on the limit, that is. Ooh, bloody hell. I know you like all this bullshit in my videos. Right. Now, I remember someone playing 4x4 off-road racing by Epic stroke Epics, as I used to call them back then. You know, the Summer Games 2 people. And I didn't like it. Not only was it rubbish coding, but what little coding talent they had, they'd wasted on some rubbish texture mapped road effect. However, I went on John Gage's channel, and actually no, I probably just typed in John Gage, and I didn't even type in Commodore 64, and our 4x4 racing come up anyway, and I was like, oh, okay, I seem to remember this game A, not working properly, and B, when I did use it on the emulator, or was it the C64 full size thingy? Yeah, it was a bit weird, and then of course after all that stuff, when it came to actually trying the game, that's where it crashed. Now I've learnt quite a few things since then. When the mummy and the daddy come together, no, not that stuff. No, I learnt about you know, different disk image types, and what is and isn't acceptable. F1 GP circuit is a classic example. As a D64 image, the same files will not work on my SD to IEC. However, if I just copy those files to a D81 image, they do work actually. So anyway, I actually saw a bit of the game. I tried not to watch too much of it, but I was like, oh, hang on a minute. Okay, it's no Buggy Boy, but it's certainly not as shit relative to the, you know, the Lotus 2 console slaying hardware power of the Amiga 1000. Ah, bloody hard, ballsed up the maximum file. Ah, bollocks. Got to edit that. I don't know what happens if you do it from tape here. Not really sure about that one. However, if I go here and run the first thing on the disk image, which is what you know, the emulator does if you auto boot an image, these stripes look different on the emulator. Same D81 image. But it did work, so I was like, okay then. However, there is a slight issue. It doesn't take you to the shop, so you can't stock up on fuel, you know, tools, mechanics, yeah, all sorts of other stuff, and you can't buy a winch. But this is it's a D81 crack. The problem is you have to kind of put yourself back in the 1988 frame of chart music mind, or so from that point of view it's not particularly bad music. Certainly no Rob Hubbard, David Whittaker, insert your own favourite SID composer. So I don't think there was many like in-house American software house C64 tunes that are right up there with the best of the European guys. You know, like Jerome Tell and all that lot, maniacs of noise. So anyway, This bit is the same, right? So there's no difference so far. I'm just, there we go. Yeah, we go with the one with the most power. Can't even load up any supply, so it makes no difference really. Although you get better fuel consumption out of that one. That's the worst one, 120 horsepower and just 22 miles per gallon, and that's not much better. This is probably the best all-rounder, but it looks rubbish, and I can't buy extra fuel or not, or anything, so I can't really play the game properly. Hey buddy, right there, chocolate, chocky. Hey, no, you're pressing on this, it's making it, see, that's physics 101, buddy. So I wanted to do loads of sports games from various sports, because I wanted to do a World of Sport parody with clips of Dickie Davis in there. If you don't know who Dickie Davis is, you're going to have to go and look that up on Google. However, there isn't a single full episode of World of Sport, which ran for 20 years, every Saturday, so you can work out how many episodes that is. A lot, and no one's got a single whole episode, not even ITV. Bit like BBC when they junked the first series of Doctor Who, because it was worthless, because they couldn't sell it to anyone. So yeah, I only had a quick go on the emulator, just to make sure the disk image does actually work, and even then, there was no guarantees, so I did actually load it on the SD to IEC. The reason I'm doing that is because there isn't many rally games. I've done the only other one, which has got really good handling actually. The cars handle exactly like the Lancia in Sega Rally on the Saturn. I kid you not, it's just the graphics are terrible. Now I don't know where my CRT glasses are, so that could be a problem. So the scaling's not too bad, and you've got parallax mountains going very smoothly there, which is only possible because the road doesn't go up or down, as far as I know. Otherwise you have to do the scrolling in software, and the C64's in real trouble then with 1 MHz CPU. But then again, that's why the Victor and the SID chip are designed the way they work. You don't need more than 1 MHz. Actually, the animations are really nice on the on the tumbling, Jeep there. Okay, what's happened there? Why is it gone all red? So yeah, you know what? I've never played this game before. I went with this course because I prefer the greys to the browns in the C64. Oh look, it does. However, maybe it doesn't do that while it's turning. Okay, that would get round the problem. You can do up and down, but not while it's turning. So have a look for that. But I'm pretty sure it won't. A little bit of Night Rider there, ski mode. I'm not sure why it's called ski mode. Don't look like a person on skis to me at all. There's no shuffling going on. There's no long sticks that come out the back of kit. So yeah, I've got there is obviously some sort of built-in trainers then, otherwise, that's the problem with these 1581 cracks. So it's a simple case of, yes, they will work on the SD to IEC, however, there's always some sort of problem. Either there's no trainers, or there's trainers and you don't even get to select whether you have them or not. And, in one way or the other, it kind of ruins the game a bit. But, you know what, C64 tape games are not only getting expensive, some of the titles you'd want to play on the real hardware, they're also getting quite difficult to find. So it's quite easy to go on there and say, oh, I fancy a copy of Druid, and there won't be one, or Gauntlet 2 for the Amstrad, and it'll be like, oh, there's no copies for sale. Which has nothing to do with driving this, but anyway. Okay, so I see what happens when you go either through the muddy waters or the blue waters. Your engine will kind of stall a bit, and you have to take your finger off the fire button, which is accelerate, and put it back on. So kind of dig yourself out. So I think it's a good compromise the way they've done it. So, you know, today I know what they're doing technically to make certain things appear on exactly the same Sony Trinitron model that I had back then. I believe I got that for my 16th birthday. So it's not quite as impressive as Buggy Boy, but it is moving everything faster than Buggy Boy. So now I should point out I've got no idea what I'm doing here. Anyway, the Dickie Davis thing I've wanted to do for ages, and it's really frustrating. I can't find a decent copy of either the video or the audio. Well, I think we're out of gas, and seeing as I don't get to pick how much gas I take with me on these journeys, you know, the first bit was what are you doing, chocolate? It's saying 9 cans on board. Oh, it's checkpoint. Oh, blimey. Uh, 0 gallons in tank. Okay, our spare tank is full. So adding gas took 2 minutes, 5 gallons in tank. Right, okay. What is this? Right, that's a map. So, you know, it's just like these kind of childish graphics here compared to what, you know, European artists were kicking out in the demo scene. It's a bit of an embarrassment. I mean, this is, Mummy, I drew something in Koala Pad. Yes, dear, it's fantastic. So I presume we're still in the winter course. Now, the winter course is also my favourite on Buggy Boy. So, yeah, I couldn't find a decent copy of the music or the video for the limited. I think they were only on for like about 2 years, the titles that I remember. Because I kind of lost interest in sport at a certain age. Which sort of coincided with, like, you know, when I had a few VCS cartridges and obviously a VCS. Why would I have not have a VCS and have the cartridges? You could have won them in a competition. No, I never won anything in a competition ever in my life. Which is one of the reasons why I don't do the lottery. The other one being I once spent about 60 quid on lottery tickets using some fancy statistical routine and typed in all the previous winnings for about 2 years. I think I did it in Q Basic on my 486 PC or something. I barely got my money back. I think I was like just about not in loss. So I never played the lottery again after that. I was like, screw you. So yeah, I mean, these graphics here are absolutely fine for your truck, but you know, on the screens it's like, oh no, did the person who was supposed to do those graphics get drafted into like Actually, I don't think there was any wars at the moment. Maybe you had to go Nicaragua. Is that where Reagan went once? And they said, look, here's 20 quid to the receptionist. You know how to use koala pad. Draw me some green cars in it. So I wouldn't normally have had these options on. This is kind of the thing. So it's one of the reasons why I bought the C64 full size, because you know it's better than using just an emulator. I mean, it's not a huge difference between using an emulator. However, using a real C64 on a plasma TV, it don't look great unless you're going to buy your own £200 you know, S-video to HDMI converter, because the one built into your TV is worth about as much as those toys in the Lucky Charms cereal boxes. So I don't actually know how to exit any of these games, and yeah, it's a shame I can't use any of the strategic elements with this game. It's not just the fact that I'm probably going to make it however badly I do on each course. Normally that's alright, but there is probably quite a strategic element to this game. So it is kind of a pity. But the C64 full size is not set up at the moment. I think this is better than Lotus Turbo Challenge on the C64, that's for sure. That's nothing special. It'd be nice if we had wing mirrors. So yeah, we're going to have like crappy VHS long play on knackered tape quality for the titles for whatever I'm going to do. But not even sure what other games to do, because some of the ones I want to do definitely will not work on the SD to IEC. That might work with one that maybe has the disc swap buttons, but mine isn't that type. There's no buttons on my SD to IEC. So we made it to the checkpoint, or run out of fuel, or it's crashed. I think it's crashed. There are no lights on the SD to IC at all. There's no red light. Yeah, like I said, 1581s are not brilliant. Always going to give someone a bit of a problem, isn't it? Better turn that off. So I think with that one, I didn't really get to try the game properly. It's not really, yeah. So not only does it not work, but it also doesn't let you play the game how it's intended, and you have to have those trainer options on if there were any, which they probably were. So it's quite an interesting game. I would never buy it on tape. And a disc, any Commodore disc game worth a damn is expensive. And I kind of stopped doing that. Although I've been at it again on eBay. I bought another tape game. It's a game I reviewed not that long ago. And it's just a game I'm not 100% sure I've actually got it in my collection. I'll probably, knowing me, I've got 3 copies of it in mint condition already. This does happen. However, like with Phoenix, can't take the risk because they don't pop up that often for a price worth it. And this was about the price of, let me work this out. No, because if I tell you, you're going to know how much it is, and then you might. Anyway, it was dirt cheap, and I mean dirt cheap. It was like less than I would spend in a takeaway. Put it that way. And I don't mean McDonald's and all that, I just mean like just to buy some. It was dirt cheap, and the postage was free, I think. Yeah, it was. So yeah, Druid on the other hand, I'm not prepared to pay a certain amount for that because I have got a copy of that.